Hello and welcome to the Sheff United Way. Danny flipping Ings. That's who we're going to be talking about. Daniel William John Ings. He is a striker. He's 33. He won't be 34 until July 2026 if he's not careful. He is right-footed. He is 5'10", so that's just 1 inch over the great height for a man, Hal scale. Sorry, Danny. Better luck next time. We're going to look at him, his attributes, what he's good at, what he's not so good at. And of course, as always, let me know in the comments what you think about the player. Specifically this time, Danny Ings. We've done a lot. I actually can't wait until the transfer window is closed so I can talk about other things. Now, Ings started his career in the youth team of Southampton, but they decided, nah, he was released as a schoolboy. It's amazing how often we hear that story from players that go on to represent their country, which, of course, Danny ended up doing. He, of course, before that, had to get there. And he had to go the long way, the hard route, which I think has made him appreciate the beautiful game and being a professional all the more, which is probably why fans who've watched him play in his successful times, not necessarily West Ham fans, but I'll get to that, have adored Danny Ings because he gives so much. He joined AFC Bournemouth. He progressed through their youth system. He spent a time on loan at Dorchester Town. In 2011, he joined Burnley, and that was where it all came together. He was fantastic with the Clarets. In fact, 2013-14, he was the Championship Player of the Year. He helped Burnley achieve promotion to the Premier League, and once he got to the Premier League with Burnley, he never looked back. In just been Premier League, I guess, until now. Following Burnley's relegation and the expiry of his contract, he decided not to drop down to the Championship, and he would move to Liverpool. That didn't really work out. A lot of injuries there. He moved to Southampton on loan in August 2018 before the move was made permanent in July 2019. I'm kind of going through this quickly because we're going to get to what I think is more relevant and more pertinent is, what have you done for me lately, to quote Eddie Murphy. He moved to Aston Villa in 2021 and subsequently to West Ham United. Boo, we hate West Ham. In January 2023. Now, he wouldn't be retained upon the expiry of his contract this summer. So he's been a free agent for a while. Nick and Ollie did a video on this channel talking about the possibility of bringing in Ings on a permanent basis after he's been training with United. And Ollie made a very good point. He's been a free agent since the end of June. Why, at the end of August, are Sheffield United only now having a look at him? Feels like, I think Ollie was sort of suggesting a bit of a scattergun approach to free agency. Now, he is a full England international, as I mentioned a little earlier. He got 3 caps for his country, scored 1 goal. Prior to that, he played for England under-21s 13 times, scoring 4. Now, some think of Ings as a poacher, as a kind of fox in the box. He's actually much more than that. He can drop deeper and win the ball and do a lot of things himself. He's proven he's capable of more than just being that 4 yards out poacher. And on his day, he's actually played in a variety of offensive positions. A full career breakdown looks like this. He's been a centre forward 265 times. So he is a striker. That is, to all intents and purposes, his best position, because when he's played there 265 times, he's scored 95 goals, 35 assists. But he has played just behind. And I mentioned he can do that. Maybe more of a 10, you might describe it as, or a second striker. 37 times, 16 goals, 5 assists. But he's also played on the wing, left and right, and he's played a little deeper as an attacking midfielder. But that was only once. He played as a left winger 17 times, scoring 6 goals, as a right winger 8 times, scoring 1. Again, he is right-footed. So when he'd have been on the left, that would have been cutting inside. I don't think that's what we're going to see from Danny Ings going forward. Now, if we go through his club career in order of most appearances to least, Burnley, 130 appearances, 43 goals. Just incredible. 14 assists. That was great, but Southampton, the ratio was even better. 100 appearances, 46 goals. Just amazing. 10 assists. And then it slowed down a little bit with the appearances and the goals. So West Ham, 69 appearances, just 5 goals and 5 assists. Not as bad at Villa, 52 appearances, 14 goals, 8 assists. Bournemouth, in his earlier career, 30 appearances, 8 goals, 3 assists, not bad. And Liverpool, plagued by injuries, 25 appearances, 4 goals, and the 1 assist. Now let's go through his record by league. 240 Premier League appearances, 72 goals, 24 assists, 87 championship appearances, more pertinent to Sheffield United. 27 goals, 9 assists. He played in League One 27 times, 7 goals, 3 assists. He's received 31 yellows in his career, no reds. A career that professionally, if we exclude youth appearances, has seen him make 415 appearances, scoring 125 goals. Really great numbers over a very successful career. He's definitely made the most of his ability. Now, Ings has had injuries. You know I'm going to talk about this because I mentioned his Liverpool career was particularly blighted by injury. So I've taken a breath. Should we go through some of his injuries? Why not? He's had a knee injury. He had a bad knock whilst at Southampton that kept him out for 20 days. A hamstring injury in 2021. Now, I mentioned the hamstring injury. Wait for this. Had a knee injury in the same year, kept him out for over a month. Then he had a hamstring injury in 2018-19, kept him out for 56 days. Then he had a hamstring injury that was in the January of 2019, kept him out for over 2 weeks. Had a hamstring injury as well in the November of that season, which kept him out for over a month. Took a knock in the 18-19 season, kept him out for 6 days. That was again all during this Southampton time. Liverpool, I mentioned, he had some pretty bad injuries. Well, he needed a knee surgery during his time with Liverpool, which kept him out for just under 300 days. Cruciate ligament tear in the 2015-16 season, 211 days missed there. Another serious hamstring injury when with Burnley back in 2014. That kept him out for over a month. He had a torn lateral ankle ligament in the 2013-14 season where he missed a month. Again, that was with Burnley. Now, the problem is he hasn't had a meaningful season with lots of minutes in some time. Now, last season, from a possible 3,420 available Premier League minutes, he played just 270 minutes of league football. The season before that, just 390. In 2022-23 season, 1,589. The season before that, 1,904. And in 2020-21, much better, 2,185 minutes. 2,185 minutes. So there we go. 5 goals in 69 West Ham career appearances. I said, what have you done for me lately would be what we talk about. Well, that is his most recent example. Again, that's in the Premier League, so tougher stuff. Also suggests the striker is very much on the decline. His last championship season, we have to go all the way back to 2013-14 with Burnley, and it was incredible. 40 games, 21 goals. That was just in the league. If we go in everything in that season, including the Cup, he was 45 appearances and 26 goals. So that's in all competitions. Just phenomenal stuff. But 2014 is a long time ago. The areas are fully fit and are fully functional Danny Ings excels at. And we've seen this over his career. His finishing, undoubtedly. His technique, good in the air despite his height. Tremendous balance. He's brave. He's extremely determined. I cannot emphasize that enough. A real team player, hardworking, good stamina, a never say die spirit, a fan's favourite at the clubs he's excelled at, simply due, not all to the goals, but due to his work rate. I heard that over and over again. Everything I read about him, all the fans' opinions of him, particularly in his career, was just how hard Danny Ings works on the pitch. I think to sum up Danny in a kind of long paragraph, but a striker with a good off-the-ball movement. Again, this is at the peak of his powers. Ability to find space in the box. Quick brain. Good at finishing. Though his physical capabilities have been severely impacted by those multiple injuries. I just read out a sample there. Advancing years, they've taken their toll. Very hardworking, though. He is someone who contributes to the entire team. That defensive press is something that he's famous for. He can play the link-up. I mentioned he likes to drop deep, demonstrating intelligence in his runs, demonstrating intelligence with his positioning. While his ability to score has been proven, in recent years he's been unable to rediscover that lethal finishing form after the injury-prone periods. A young Ings had that quick burst of pace. He had that speed, he had the sharp turns, which allowed him to get in behind defences, to create one-on-one opportunities with goalkeepers. The question is, can he find that again? Prolonged periods out of action have not helped him at all due to injury. They've impacted his physical capabilities, there's no doubt. And West Ham fans online that I've spoken to have been less than complimentary. A polite way of putting it is his injuries and natural decline have diminished his overall effectiveness. I think that's the nicest way of putting it. Off the field, Danny Ings is generally considered a really great guy. He gained a reputation for a number of charitable acts. In November 2014, he launched and funded the Danny Ings Disability Sport Project to provide football coaching to children with disabilities and learning difficulties. Seems like a decent bloke. What do you reckon to Danny Ings as a Sheffield United striker? Blades fans, let me know your thoughts. Thank you very much for your support. Up the Blades.
𝗚𝗿𝗲𝗷𝗚